Today's episode is going to be interesting. I'm going to be talking about no meat and no alcohol for 45 days. What changed, what didn't, how it helped me, how it didn't. Would I do it again? Would I not? The things that I went through the first 2 weeks, the things I went through the last 2 weeks. Stay tuned and join me in the ride for the video. Thank you for being here and thank you for giving me another chance. So, abstinence, staying away from meat and alcohol for 45 days. Is it a big deal? A lot of Christians and Catholics, or most of Christians and Catholics, do try to abstain from something during Lent. It's just a way of giving up something. For me, abstinence started off at a very young age because at home, people would abstain. My parents would abstain from no meat, and that's how it all started when I was a kid. I would do it even in school. So no meat was something I would do for 40 days. It was a season where I would look forward to because the way that we take Easter was something huge because now that we sacrifice something, we reward. So it's like you work for it and then you get reward. So this whole aspect of work and reward was amazing, just like how each of us want things to be structured. So that's how it all started, and that's where I got the idea of abstaining from something. So meat was no big deal. I abstained from meat for 45 days. It's the bit of alcohol, which I also abstained this time, which was new for me because I never considered it to be a compulsion for me. I can stay away from drinking. I would drink on the weekends, but then I think somewhere towards the end, I figured that it became a ritual that I had to have a drink on a Saturday. A drink, 2 drinks, 3 drinks, how many ever drinks, but it has to be on a Saturday. And I kind of revolved doing things on that day. And it's not that my life was consumed and I had to give up, but I would do it just on Saturday, but I didn't want that to happen. And I knew it's going to jolt my system considering that I gave up meat and I'm also giving up alcohol. So giving up meat and alcohol was definitely a conscious effort. I knew it's going to be hard. I knew it's going to be different, considering the fact that when you start working out and you get used to a certain kind of food, back then in school, it was not a big deal because I would not have to eat a certain number of meals just to be fit or whatnot. But now I have to for whatever weight training reasons or whatever the other reasons are. So for me, giving up from that routine was hard because on a regular basis, I eat about 4 meals of either meat, poultry, and eggs. Definitely from breakfast to lunch to another snack in between. And so 4 meals, it's definitely meat, poultry, and egg. And I don't go easy on them. I definitely consume about 150 to 180 grams of meat protein every meal, 4 times a day. That's quite a bit of meat, and I'm very comfortable doing that. So for me, just to give up on something and just break the pattern was always a challenge. I like new challenges. I want to take it up as much as I want to let myself suffer. I think that's how it comes across as. So I took it up, and it was a conscious effort. I just knew that I'm not going to quit. I definitely did not want to quit. I wanted to get through it. So just to give you a brief of what I gave up, when it comes to meat, I gave up all forms of red meat, white meat, which is poultry, and eggs as well. No eggs, absolutely. I did consume protein in the form of whey protein because there was no other way for me to get it. I did eat a lot of high protein considered vegetarian food. A lot of dal and lentils. I also ate soya chunks. I ate tofus. I didn't eat too much paneer because I know the fat content is higher. And a few other things. But I was never full because I'm so used to eating a certain kind of food. I was never full. I would overeat every meal, and which is why my weight loss, which I wanted to do, was barely anything. For me, I think 40 days, I would have just lost like 4 kgs or something, which is not a big deal for me considering my ups and downs with weights. 4 to 5 kgs is not a big deal at all. So I know I was trying to do it for weight loss, but I didn't. But because I was just trying to constantly find food to eat, considering it's vegetarian food. I'm going to tackle meat first and then alcohol. The first 2 weeks of meat, I was trying to find alternative foods. I was always trying to look in the pantry to see and what I can make. After a point, I kind of gave up because I knew no matter what I make, I'm not going to be full. I did have a mindset of no quitting, so it was very hard. I would walk by restaurants and they smell of meat, it was definitely hard. I mean, like every other Catholic goes through, but I know this is not new for me and I would get through it. So I wouldn't have much to say when it comes to 2 weeks of no meat. So the first 2 weeks were hard as always. The next, I think 2 to 3 weeks was okay, considering it was 46 days or 45 days. It was okay because I kind of got into a stride. I knew what I was doing. The only things I stayed away from meeting people, stayed away from social events because I know I am very strong-willed. I know if I want to do something, I will do. But the only thing that I'm not okay with is trying to provide explanations of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So for me, the interaction of trying to tell people in a nice way is very hard. I would rather be nice for a very, very short time than be rude continuously. So, because I don't think it's polite. So I just stayed away from people just for those reasons. But there are a lot of other reasons why I also stayed away from, which is another whole topic altogether. The last 2 weeks is when I actually saw changes. And I was like, okay, I'm finally going to eat meat. I saw a lot of positive changes in terms of my skin, in terms of the way I felt, in terms of my energy. A lot of things changed, giving up meat. But at the same time, I did feel lethargic, especially when you weight train. You are tired, and there's no amount of food that's going to recover from it if there's no good protein. Whey protein was the only way, and I actually finished an entire tub of whey protein in the 46 days because I would eat it for breakfast and I would also eat it after post workout, so which is not the best. So that is how my 2 weeks in the last week was. So in terms of meat, my verdict on it is it's good. I should have I should do a longer no meat phase for me to even judge on it. I'd probably do about 100 days or about 150 days because I did see positive results after day 40. But my whole giving up phase is only 45 days. I'll probably try it. Would I try it next year? I do not know because I've been doing it every year and I want to do something else the next year. But we see how things go. If I have to give up, I would give up. And yeah, so that is my phase of the no meat phase. Now, talking about the alcohol part. This was big for me because I've never done it before. And I did not expect my reaction towards it and the changes that I had. And trying to stay away from it, for me, I completely know that staying away and not doing it are very different things. I am either all in or all out. It's either a yes or a no. So I've stayed away from it, but for me, it is about giving up consciously. So I did stay away from it, and I thought it was going to be hard. But to be completely honest, the first week was because I had a routine. I had to change the entire routine to fit in. So what I would do is I would actually go and work out during the time when I would actually drink on a Saturday. I would go late to the gym and come back late. So, and I would just have a good meal and watch TV or movies and then go to bed. So I had to change that routine so that phase I have something to do, and that had a huge positive impact because Sundays were really positive. Woke up bright and early, and it was great. The first week wasn't the best. Second week, I thought I was going to give up because only when you say you're not going to do something, there's an urge for you to do it. Another thing which I want to do, a lot of people say when you're trying to give up something, remove them completely away from your life. Like, for example, if you're giving up me a sweet, take away all the chocolates, everything if you're not strong-willed, which I agree. If everyone or anyone is doing it, should be doing it. But I wanted to be a little bit harder on myself this time. I did not take away any of my alcohol bottles at home. So you can actually see them when you walk in home, and it was just there. There was no changes to it, and I wanted to do it in spite of it being there, because that's normal. So life is normal. You're gonna go run into things. You're gonna stay away from things. So if I'm gonna do it again, and if I can't be so sensitive of I'm not gonna see alcohol bottles and I'm gonna drink. So I want to do it with that. So I kind of gave myself a hard time. I did go to restaurants. I would go to restaurants, try to be normal, eat but not drink. I think I did that about a couple of times, but so that's how my first 2 weeks were. It was definitely not easy. It was hard, but as you see, I had a few mental things that I wanted to do no matter what. And I think that's what pushed me through the first 2 weeks. The third, fourth, fifth week, it was easier compared to the 2 weeks. The one thing that definitely I heard over and over whenever I felt like drinking is I did listen to a podcast for about 3 hours about the ill effects or effects of alcohol on the human psychology, the body, and the mind. And that episode blew me off, and which is why now I even think twice if I'm ever gonna drink again ever. And I thought I was the only one who had a huge impact, but when you read online and Reddit pages, there are a lot of people who've had humongous impact just by listening to the episode, because the episode is not suggesting anything, it is just giving you scientific proof on what happens when you drink. I think that was why I actually gave up alcohol in the very first place. It was, sometimes you think an episode makes no difference, but listening to someone can literally change your life. And that's why I decided that this time I am going to give up alcohol. And it was that instance when I knew, when I first heard the episode, even before I started this whole journey of doing the no alcohol bit, huge impact. And I wish everyone can listen to it. Whether you do it or not is up to you, but just listen to it so you know what's going in your body. And so first 2 weeks was that. Third week, as I said, was comparatively easier. The last 2 weeks I kind of was not looking forward to drinking, because I wanted to prep, but there's something in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm okay. Like, I thought I was not going to be okay and I want to drink, but I think I'm okay. Positive effects on alcohol. I think my skin was better. I had energy throughout. The question is, was it worth it? Do I have to do it again? I think it's completely worth it, just because, one, I wanted to prove to myself that I can stay away from something when I choose to. Reasons why you could be doing it and why you should consider doing it is, one, just for you to decide that you can do it and you staying away from it. It's a huge confidence builder. If you ever want to just build confidence on plain nothing, just decide something and don't do it. And you be accountable for yourself, and that's huge. And that's such a moral boost. It completely helps you, really helps you. Second, anything that's compulsive in my life, I want to break it. Anything that I think has a leash on me, I want to stay away from it and still show that, hey, you know what? I can break from you. I'm choosing you. You are not choosing me. It's very simple. Meat is not choosing me. I am choosing to eat meat. Alcohol is not choosing me, but I'm choosing to drink alcohol. It's just a self-affirmation for me. It just lets me sleep better, I think. So that's another reason why I do it. And third, it's a very selfish thing to do, to be honest, when it comes to that. This is my belief. When it comes to something being religious, you got to do and give alms and help people. A lot of people judge, why would you want to do something very selfish? Well, it starts from you, and for me, I think this was important, and that's why I did it. Would I ever do it again? I don't know. But by the time this time rolls around next year, I may, because of my ODing on meat. Alcohol would be a different deal this year for sure, because of the time that I gave away from it. That's pretty much the whole video is about. Just about sharing why I gave up, what I gave up, and how it was. This is more like documenting the fact of what happened, because I never documented any year, and I just want to share that. I hope this helped at some level. If it didn't help, I hope you guys disagree. And for those who disagree, please let me know what you disagree with in the comment section. For those who agree, also do let me know what you agree with. If you think you like it, please do like the video. If you think you'd like to watch such candid videos and a lot of other things that I talk about, consider subscribing to the channel. But for now, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys listening to this. If you're on the audio format and watching this, if you're on the video format and also listening and watching, I want to say I do want to address the fact on why the episodes are not consistent. The reason being, there are a lot of times that I shoot the episode and I do not like it. I think the quality is bad in terms of what I said, in terms of my whole topic. I've deleted a lot of short videos because I could probably edit and put it out, but I didn't want to do it because there's quality is just so bad in terms of my information. This is just a documenting fact, so I didn't want to overthink it so much. But there are other videos where I actually shoot and delete. Considering I do it only once a week, sometimes when I delete, I have no other material. Most importantly, thank you. Have a great day.